हरि ओम। ओ ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गायै नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। ओम गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धाविश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धाः स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरं। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेदसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। बुद्धिर्बलं यशोधैर्यं निर्भयत्वमरोगताम् अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत्स्मरणात् भवेत्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 ॐ नमः शिवाय। नमः पार्वती पतये। हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। So we are seeing the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Here Bhagwan summarizes the teaching of the whole Gita. So there are this twofold path. The path of karma, which culminates in self-knowledge through upasana and Shravan Manan, and thereafter one has to pursue the path of Jnana Nishtha. Only when we gain that Jnana Nishtha, one transcends the mind, the intellect, gain abidance in the Supreme Self, becomes free of all bondage. So here in this verse number 50, Bhagwan tells कि सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथाप्नोति निबोध में समासेन एव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा. That having gained that self-knowledge, how one can gain that abidance in that knowledge, how one can gain that jnana nishtha, that you listen from me, I will tell you in brief. So Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, who has written a beautiful commentary on the Bhagavad Gita, he has also written an elaborate explanation of this verse. Here he answers some doubts which might come in our mind. So one is that whether self-knowledge is really possible and whether Jnana Nishtha is possible. So Bhagwan tells us that we gain this knowledge of our own presence, our own existence, because of this, through this buddhi. So we have this inner equipment called the buddhi, and in that buddhi there is the reflection of the self, means the presence of the self is there in the buddhi. And this presence of that self is experienced as I am. So in our waking state and in our dream, we experience our own presence vividly. It is the most vivid experience. We might have doubt about the existence of other things, but we don't have any doubt about our own existence. So that is experience as I am in the buddhi. The buddhi is connected to our mana, to our chitta, to the ahankar, to the senses, and to our gross physical body also. So the sense of I is spontaneously also experienced in the mind, in the senses, and in the body also, our gross body. We experience the sense of I spontaneously, naturally. We don't have to put forth special effort. But when in the dream, when we get disconnected from our physical body, there is no experience of I am in the body. And in deep sleep, when we get disconnected from the Sukshma Sharir also, there is no sense of I am in the Sukshma Sharir. But I exist. So I exist separated from the Stula Sharir and the Sukshma Sharir in Sushupta Avastha. There is no activity of any kind happening in that Sushupta Avastha in deep sleep, but I exist. When I wake up, I say I slept happily, I slept very well. So I experienced my own existence. I also experience happiness, which I express when I wake up. So that self, which is separate from the Sukshma Sharir and Stula Sharir, that self is called Sushupta Atma. That is also called the Kshetrajna. It is also called Pratyekatma. So the presence of this self is experienced in the buddhi and in the body. And not understanding the difference, not understanding that the real self is actually separate from the Stula Sharir and Sukshma Sharir, one identifies with this Stula Sukshma Sharir and considers themselves as the self. So there are those who take the gross body itself as the Atma. Then there are those who say, no, gross body is not the Atma, but the Sukshma Sharir is the Atma. So different misunderstandings are there about the nature of this Atma. Though everyone experiences the Atma, but exactly what is the nature of this Atma is not recognized, is not known. Also, what exactly is the nature of this buddhi, the sharira, and this world which we experience is also not known. So here Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, he writes कि सर्वत्र ही बुद्ध्यादि देहांते आत्म चैतन्य आभासता आत्म भ्रांति कारणम. Because of that presence of that Atma which is felt in the buddhi, and it is connected to our senses and the body, etc., one gets confused with the notion that I am the body, the physical body. But nobody has got that confusion whether the Atma exists or not. So the knowledge of our own self is there, but exactly what is the nature of that self is not known. Bhagwan says, Shankaracharya ji, कि अतः आत्म विषयम ज्ञानम न विधातव्यम किम तर्हि नाम रूपादि अनात्म अध्यारोपण निवृत्ति एव कार्या न आत्म चैतन्य विज्ञानम अविद्यादि आरोपित सर्व पदार्थाकारैः एव विशिष्टतया गृह्यमानत्वात्. Bhagwan says, what is now required is not exactly self-knowledge, but one should remove the misunderstandings which are projected on the self. Because of not recognizing the self properly, one superimposes the non-self, the anatma, on this self. One superimposes the buddhi, the mana, the indriya, the sharira on the self and thinks that is the self. So not only this are superimposed on the self, but the qualities, the dharma of the body, the mind, the senses are superimposed on the self. So we think I am the body. Therefore, we also think that whatever is happening to the body is happening to me. So body is changing, I think I am changing. The body is growing, I say I am growing. The body is sick, I say I am sick. The body is becoming old, I say I am getting old. The body is dying, I say I am dying. So the qualities of the body is falsely understood as the quality of the self. Similarly, the qualities of the senses are falsely understood as the qualities of the self, and the qualities of the mind and intellect is falsely understood as the qualities of the self. So even the feeling of happiness, unhappiness, which we experience in our waking, is nothing but a vritti in the mind, in our antakarana. It is not the nature of our Supreme Self. Therefore, in the 13th chapter, we had seen that Sukha Dukkha is also Kshetra Dharma. So, Ichha Dvesha Sukham Dukkham Sanghatas Chetana Dhritihi. All these are Kshetra Dharma. So, what is required is to remove all the false notions which are projected on the self. So, ata eva hi, what you call, tasmat avidyadi aropana nirakarana matram brahmani kartavyam natu brahmajnane yatnaha atyanta prasiddhatvat. So this Atma which is experienced by us, itself is indicated as Brahma. The Atma, the sense of I, which we experience, it is that Sushupta Atma, which is experienced through our buddhi, that Sushupta Atma itself, which is called Kshetrajna, is indicated by our Shastra as Brahma. Now see, very interesting. So this Atma, this I, how do I experience? I experience it in one way. And the Shastras indicate the same Atma in another way. How do I experience it? In the waking, I experience it along with my body, my mind. And I know that all the activities which are happening in this world are happening for me. Means whatever activities I perform with my body, mind, it is for me. When any knowledge happens through our senses, through our mind, the knower is me. When any experience of happiness, sorrow happens, the experiencer is me. And that I remains separated from my upadhis in Sushupta Avastha. So I know or I experience myself as the Karta, Bhokta, Jnata. Also I experience myself to be limited in this body. I don't experience myself in the other body. I don't experience myself outside this body. I only experience myself within this body. I experience myself as the Karta, Bhokta, Jnata. And with little contemplation I know that I am separate from my gross body as well as the subtle body. I remain alone in the Sushupta Avastha. But the Shastras, which are the ultimate Praman, the Shastras tell me that you means that Sushupta Atma, you are Brahma. That statement of the Shastra one has to understand. When we understand that statement of the Shastra very intimately, without any doubt, then that is what is called self-knowledge. I should, when the Shastra says you are that Brahma, I should understand that yes, Aham Brahma Asmi, or I am Atma Brahma, this Atma is Brahma. That understanding should happen without any doubts. So how does the Shastra give me this understanding that we have seen? That Shastras first guide me on the path of karma to make my antakarana more and more pure, more and more transparent, more and more sukshma. Again, the Shastras then indicate that Brahma by pointing out to this world. The Shastra says, do you see this world? Yes. So if there is this world, there must be a cause for this world. There must be the material with which this world is made, the swarupa of this world, the material with which this world is made. And somebody must have made this world. So with lot of what you call examples and logic, the Shastras, they convey that the Upadan Karan, the material cause, as well as the Nimitta Karan, the efficient cause of this world is Brahma. What Brahma? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Brahma, which is Satyam, means changeless existence, Jnanam, pure knowledge, Anantam, infinite. And how many Brahmans are there? One. So Ekam. And what is the characteristic, more characteristic of this Brahma? It is Anandam. It is of the nature of bliss. So this Brahma, which is the cause of this world, means world is not different from Brahma. The entire world is one with that Brahma. And then the Shastra says that you are that Brahma. Tat Tvamasi. You are that Brahma. So I have to contemplate and get convinced that yes, I am the Brahma. I mean this Sushupta Atma. So let us do little bit of thinking to really understand what the Shastras are saying is understandable. See, the Brahma is pure existence, means Satyam Jnanam Anantam, and Anandam, of the nature of bliss, Ekam, it is one. So all these characteristics of the Brahma, if we look within, if we look at our own self, we will find that all these characteristics are seen in that self. Self means I, the Sushupta Atma. So Brahma is indicated as Satyam. So this Atma should be Satyam, means changeless existence. So when we contemplate on it, we find that I remain same. There is no change in me. The Sushupta Atma which I experience it in the same way every day, every time I go into Sushupta Avastha. It is experienced in the same way. There is no change. Not only I, but anybody going to Sushupta Avastha, they experience the same Atma. See, when we have to convey certain knowledge of this world, we convey it with our words. Even our experiences are conveyed with words. Suppose I had a certain experience during my waking state, I convey using some words. Otherwise you will not know. Then I go to sleep and I have a dream. What was my dream? You will not know unless I convey. You will never know unless it is conveyed by me. If I just say I had a dream, you will not know. Or if I say I had some experience in the waking, you will not know. But very interesting, when I say I had a sound sleep, I had a deep sleep, if I say it, you just understand what I am saying. Because my sound sleep, your deep sleep, everyone's deep sleep is same. It is the same experience because all of us remain as the same Atma in that deep sleep. It never changes. There is nothing there to change. So it is pure Satyam, changeless existence. So the nature of that Brahma as Satyam matches very, very well with this Atma. Then that Brahma is indicated as Jnanam. Jnanam means pure knowledge. Not knowledge of something, but knowledge per se. Knowledge itself. See, when we are awake, we gain the knowledge of the world through our senses. We gain variety of knowledge, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. In dream also we gain knowledge. But in Sushupti we remain as knowledge itself. There is no activity of knowing happening, but I remain there as pure knowledge. Therefore, when I wake up, I know I was there. I know the absence of the Sukshma Sharir and Sthula Sharir in Sushupta Avastha. So I am of the nature of Jnanam. That Atma is of the nature of Jnanam also. Then in that deep sleep, when I was separated from the Sthula and Sukshma Sharir, remained alone, there was nothing to limit me. I was not limited by any objects. I was not limited by any time. I was not limited by any in space. So there was no limitation of any kind. So I am Ananta, infinite, limitless. Also, in deep sleep, everyone experiences happiness. There are no objects there which gives us happiness. It is the happiness of our own self. The self itself is of the nature of happiness, anandam. Again, in deep sleep, there is no division. I am not different, you are not different. There is no division of Atma. Atma is one only. So all the characteristics of Brahma is seen vividly in our own self. So when one keeps contemplating on this, one will gain that conviction that yes, I am Atma Brahma. So the more and more we contemplate, the more and more we do mananam. After Shravan, more and more we do mananam, we gain conviction that I am Atma Brahma. I am this Brahma. So that conviction I have to gain while contemplating in the waking. So while awake, that Sushupta Atma is there, present, even in dream, even when I am awake, the Atma is same, changeless. So that Atma is Brahma, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So more and more we contemplate, more we gain conviction. And in this contemplation, what happens? All the false notions which I had superimposed on myself gets eliminated, gets removed. When I contemplate, all the changes I felt that I am changing, I am not the changing, I am the changeless existence. I am not knowledge of this or that, I am that knowledge per se. So when I continue contemplating, I gain that more and more conviction that I am Aham Brahmasmi, I am this Brahma. So that I, knowledge of I is there, and that I itself is indicated as Brahma. Therefore, this knowledge of the self is not something to be gained, to be acquired. That is very important point. कि तस्मात् अविद्यादि आरोपण निराकरण मात्रम ब्रह्मणि कर्तव्यम न तो ब्रह्मज्ञाने यत्नः अत्यंत प्रसिद्धत्वात्. That one need not put forth effort to gain knowledge of self or Brahma. What is required is to remove misunderstandings which are put on ourself. So Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji, he writes कि अविद्या कल्पित नाम रूप विशेष आकार पहृत बुद्धित्वात् अत्यंत प्रसिद्धम सुविज्ञेयम आसन्नतरम आत्मभूतम. This Atma is atyanta prasiddham. It is very, very famous. Means everyone knows himself or herself vividly. It is very well known. It is the innermost. We know as our own self. But due to avidya, due to ignorance, we have superimposed lot of misunderstanding on this self. So Bhagavan says, though it is so vivid, so very famous, the self, which is that Brahma, is so vivid, so famous, so well experienced by everyone, but because of this superimposition or wrong notions, it is experienced as though it is hidden somewhere. Aprasiddham durvidneyam atiduram anyad iva cha pratibhati avivekinam. So those who are ignorant, those who cannot differentiate properly, for them this Atma seems very difficult to know, as though very far away, as though something different from me. But those who follow the path as guided by the Shastras properly, they slowly and steadily come to gain that conviction and gain abidance in that self. So Shankaracharya ji writes कि बाह्याकार निवृत्त बुद्धि नाम तो लब्ध गुरु आत्म प्रसादानाम न अतः परम सुखम सुप्रसिद्धम सुविज्ञेयम स्वासन्नम अस्ति. Bhagavan says कि one whose attention is shifted away from all this misunderstanding superimposed on the self, one who has gained the Ashirvad, the blessings of the teacher, Lubdha Guru, Atma Prasadanam, one who is blessed by the teachings of a teacher and blessed by that inner self, comes to recognize this self very vividly. See, the teacher in the scriptures, they just make us understand what we are already experiencing. The self is not something vague or something which is not experienced at all. We experience ourselves, we know our own presence. The only problem is misunderstandings. So these misunderstandings have to be eliminated, to be removed. So that Sushupta Atma itself is known in one way by us now. Means we know ourselves in one way. And the Shastras teach us the same self as that Brahma. So constant contemplation and constantly asserting what the Shastras are saying is required. A very beautiful example I heard from my teacher is that when a girl gets married, say when the girl is staying with her own parents, she identifies with that family, with her parents, with the name of that family. She lives with her parents for a long time. Then her marriage gets fixed. The boy is seen, and that marriage gets fixed. So the girl for the first time come to know the boy, know his name, know the name of his family. Then they get married. So her name gets changed. She picks up the surname of that boy, gets married, and goes and starts staying at her the husband's house. But even when she is staying there, she continues to feel a little separation. She continues to identify with her parents, with her home here, with her brothers and sisters. So one part of her mind is saying that I belong here. Another part of her mind saying that I belong there. So this goes on and on for a long time. So after several months, and probably several years, the girl is able to identify totally with her husband, with her husband's family, and starts considering that as her home. Similarly, this Pratyak Atma, this Sushupta Atma is like that girl. Brahman is like that boy. It's just an example, huh? So first one comes to know about that boy, finds out what he is, where he is working, what is his family background, what is his nature. Once the family is convinced that the boy is good, then the marriage takes place. And then living together for a long time, slowly and steadily, the girl identifies with that boy completely. Similarly, this Atma gets to understand that Brahma, and one gets united with that Brahma, and after lot of sadhana of this Jnana Nishtha, one gains that abidance, one comes to understand oneself as that Brahma. First we recognize our own self objectively. The Sushupta Atma is understood from the waking standpoint. We understand ourselves as though objectively, as though I am different from myself. With lot of sadhana, lot of contemplation and meditation, one comes to understand oneself subjectively. And one comes to understand oneself as that Brahma. I am not the Karta, I am not the Bhokta, I am not the Jnata, I am that Brahma. And as Brahma, when I come to understand myself as Brahma, the body continues to exist, the world continues to exist, everything remains same. When I come to understand that I am Brahma, so with that understanding, when I look at this world, I come to understand the whole world is myself. That is called Sarvatma Bhav. The entire world is myself. Nothing is different from me. I alone am there. Everything is my own self. So, this requires lot of practice, lot of sadhana. And all this is possible. It is not some theory. It is not something just some concept, but it is a fact. So the Atma is Brahma is fact. Which Atma? This Sushupta Atma, which is experience, because we experience that Brahma as Atma only. And we experience it in this body itself now. We experience through our buddhi. So that which is experienced as I in this body, in this buddhi, is actually Brahma, which is all pervading, which is the very support of this entire world. Everything exists in that Brahma. Hmm. So this takes its own time. So here Shankaracharya ji writes कि केचित् तु पंडितम मन्या निराकारत्वात् आत्मवस्तु न उपैति बुद्धि ही अतो दुस्साध्या सम्यक ज्ञान निष्ठा इति आहुः. Bhagavan says that there are some people who think themselves to be scholars. Panditam manya, they think they are great pandit, and they argue wrongly, falsely. They say that Atma is Nirakar, therefore Atma Jnanam is not possible in the Buddhi, and that Jnana Nishtha is also not possible. They insist on that. See, there are those scholarly people who do their own contemplation, thinking, without taking proper guidance from teacher, without taking proper guidance of the Shastras, and they come up with various wrong notions which are not proper. And all these wrong notions are the various philosophies which are there in the world. Even various different types of faiths are all wrong notions. Only that Advaita Tattva alone is true. I am Atma, Brahma alone is true. Brahma is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Brahma is not Shunya. Brahma is not non-existent. Brahma is that supreme reality, my own self. Shankaracharya ji writes that those who think themselves to be Pandit and those who say that this is not possible, that Atma Jnana is not possible, and abidance in that Atma is also not possible, Bhagavan says that Satyam Evam, that it is true they are thinking like that because they don't have proper guidance. He says कि गुरु संप्रदाय रहितानाम अश्रुत वेदांतानाम अत्यंत बहिः विषयासक्त बुद्धीनाम सम्यक प्रमाणेषु अकृत श्रमाणाम सत्यम एवं. Bhagavan says those who have not gained the knowledge by proper Guru Sampradaya Rahitanam. See, in order to teach, because this is so subtle, Atma is Brahma, this understanding is very, very subtle. When we say, I am Atma Brahma, and Brahma is not, this world is not different from Brahma, means everything is myself. This world is not different from me. This knowledge is so subtle, so very sukshma, that without proper guidance it will not be attained, it cannot be appreciated at all. And the guidance should be from a guru who has understood the tattva through proper sampradaya. The knowledge of Atma is Brahma is revealed in our Shastras, means in the Upanishads, and the one who knows this Upanishad is the Supreme, is that Ishvara alone. Ishvara alone is the knower of that knowledge which is revealed in the Upanishads. We have seen in the 15th chapter also कि वेदांत वित्त वेदांत कृत विदेव च aham. And from that Ishvara alone, that Guru Shishya Parampara has come. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. So one who has learned this through proper Guru Shishya Parampara. So Guru Sampradaya, it is called Guru Sampradaya, the tradition of Guru Shishya. But one who has not gained this through Guru Sampradaya will not gain proper understanding. So Guru Sampradaya Rahitanam. Then Ashruta Vedantanam, one who has not heard this Vedanta. What is Vedanta? The Upanishads. The Upanishads alone reveal the identity of this Atma in Brahma. Otherwise, this identity can never be known. We can never know that I am Atma is Brahma. Means this Atma, this world which we see in front of us, which is not different from Brahma, and that Brahma is not different from me. This can never be known without the guidance of the Shastra. Because this knowledge cannot be obtained through our senses. This knowledge cannot be obtained just by logic or just by some experimentation. This knowledge is revealed in the Shastra. So one who has not listened to the Vedanta and Atyanta Bahir Vishaya Sakta Buddhinam, and one whose buddhi is extremely attached to the outer objects. See, from the standpoint of the buddhi, the world is outside. But from the standpoint of that Atma, the world is within. If you look from the standpoint of the buddhi, you see Dvaita. But when you transcend your understanding and look, then everything is Advaita. So one who is identified with the buddhi, one who is identified with the ahankar, one who sees differences from that standpoint, such a person will not be able to gain that abidance in that self. So atyanta bahihi vishayasakta buddhinam. Also samyak pramaneshu akrita shramanam. Also this Vedanta is the praman, which we have to hear, shravanam, we have to contemplate, and then we have to meditate. So there is a proper process of utilizing this praman. See, for example, I have eyes and there is some object in front of me. Then if I just look at that object, then that knowledge of that object happens. The image of this pen happens in my antakarana. It has to happen. But suppose there is a pen in front of me and my eyes are closed, then whatever I do, that image of this pen will not happen in my antakarana. My eyes, if they are open, then it will happen. The eyes are the praman. Similarly, the Shastras are the praman. And we have to open that Shastra, means contemplate. Through contemplation, we have to open that praman. We have to make use of that praman. Therefore, Bhagavan says, Samyak pramaneshu akrita shramana. We have to put forth effort to handle that praman. So once that is done, that self-knowledge will happen. So all those who have done this, tad viparitanam tu laukika grahya grahaka dvaita vastuni sad buddhihi nitaram dussampadya atma chaitanya vyatirekena vastu antarasya anupalabdhehe. Those who have followed this proper path with the guidance of the Shastras, for them Other than the self, nothing is there. They see the whole world as their own self. Siya Ram amay sab jag jani, Vasudevas sarvamiti, Maya tatamidam sarvam, Sarvam khalvidam brahma. Everything is seen as one's own self. So yatha cha etad evam eva na anyatha iti avocama uktam cha bhagavata yasyam jagrati bhutani sa nisha pashyato munehe. Therefore the Shastras also say, in Bhagavad Gita also say, that the ignorant person is blind, is as though asleep to this reality. Though it is present, an ignorant person is asleep to this reality. But a wise person is awake. So what the Shastras are conveying is the fact. It is about you, it is about me, it is about that reality. It is not just some theory, some concept. It is not something which is just beliefs. In Kali Yuga, we find that people are attached to so many different types of beliefs without knowing the facts. They live their entire life in beliefs. The other day I saw one video wherein a person promises that you register your name. If you are a rich person, you register your name in our organization and you deposit all the money, lot of money in our organization. Then when you die, and if you are born in a poor family, we will return your money to you. We will give that money back to you. So now you give your money, then when you die and we are born again in a poor family or somewhere else, then we will return your money. So it will be useful for you in your next life. And there are those who believe in such things and they do it. So all sorts of crazy ideas and funny notions are there. There are those who think that nothing is there, everything is shunya. Then there are those who think that God is different, world is different, I am different. So different notion, different crazy ideas are there. Vedanta says that it is all, you have to recognize yourself. And yourself is so amazing, so wonderful that you are that Brahma. So first understand that Brahma objectively, and thereafter understand that Brahma subjectively. So objective understanding of that Brahma is that knowledge, and subjective understanding of Brahma is jnana nishtha, abidance in that knowledge. Okay? So more about this we will see in our class tomorrow. Till then you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and listen to this pravachan again, contemplate, and I hope you are having this book with you. Shankaracharya's commentary should be there with you. There are lot of it is translated in various languages also. What I am using is a Gita Press book with a Hindi, Sanskrit and Hindi translation. So there are books with Sanskrit and English translation also or in many other languages also. So you should have this book with you, and because as I give this pravachan, you will be able to understand what I am saying. You can read those shlokas, mantras, and bhashya also, and understand. Okay? And we shall meet again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय. ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरिः ओम. श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ओम.